10 old games that still looks amazing in 2024.
I just hope Trinity hasn't beaten us to it.
Uncharted 4 is still blowing minds even after 8 years. The graphics are insane. Seriously, it feels like a game from 2018, not 16. The pirate and Libertalia mansions are stunning. Playing Uncharted 4 without going through the original trilogy was a bummer for me, but man, did it hit me hard emotionally. You can tell the developers poured their hearts into it, which is rare these days. It's a masterpiece that surpassed all my expectations. Graphically and mechanically, it's the best in the series. Naughty Dog really went all out. The story is solid, and the acting is top-notch. It's the peak of the series, with everything from graphics to gameplay to characters being superb. You'll love it from start to finish.
In setting up this treasure hunt, and ran out of money to actually build Libertalia.
Yeah.
Can you believe Rise of the Tomb Raider came out in 2015? It's almost a decade old now, but it still looks incredible. I mean, the small details like the snowflakes on Lara's hair, and the way she squeezes water out of her ponytail, amazing. And the graphics? Wow. Even by today's standards, it's one of the best looking games out there. And get this, it's not even optimized for current-gen consoles. Lara herself looks so much better in Rise. Her body, her muscles, everything is just top-notch. The whole trilogy is great, honestly. The story, the emotional weight, the combat, the puzzles, it's all so good. Sure, maybe the villains could have been better, but that's a minor gripe. Overall, it's hard to understand why the Survivor reboot isn't more popular. If you're looking for a game to really get into, this is it. Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls is an action-adventure game focused on the story. There is not much gameplay. I would compare it to the Telltale Walking Dead. It was released in 2013 for PlayStation 3. And honestly, it looked amazing for a PS3. In my opinion, one of the best-looking games of that generation. Voice acting was also top-notch and animations were also really good for the most part. And I really like the game. The difference in some review scores I find to be a main factor of what the reviewers were expecting and hoping for going into the game. I went in expecting gameplay to not be the main focus of the game, rather that the story would be, and the game has not let me down. It's given me just what I expected and more, and because of this I'm able to appreciate the game for what it really is. I feel that the negative reviews have been mostly attributed to the outlook going into the game, and in some cases, a hatred of David Cage. So really it's a game that can go either way, depending on what you're expecting and what you're looking for in a game. The story is excellent and the some scenes throughout are really stellar. The opportunity to live through the life of the main character and experience what she's had to go through really got me personally involved in the story and the characters, and I can't get enough of the game.
They're coming.
Quantum Break, released in 2016, remains a hidden gem even after all these years. Its graphics are astonishing, surpassing many contemporary titles. The time-breaking sequences alone are breathtaking. It's surprising that the game didn't garner more attention upon release. Remedy has always delivered excellence. Quantum Break boasts a coherent and engaging time travel narrative filled with tragic characters and unexpected twists that kept me hooked throughout. The gameplay, while simple, is immensely enjoyable and satisfying, making you feel like you're part of a movie. The accompanying TV show is remarkably well done, featuring strong acting. However, integrating the show between levels felt a bit disruptive. On the downside, there's a lack of enemy variety, and the pacing feels off with too many cutscenes. The platforming sections were subpar, with floaty controls and minimal challenge, detracting from the overall experience. Despite its flaws, Quantum Break is a solid game filled with passion and polish. It's a refreshing departure from the abundance of games as a service titles, and its unique blend of TV show elements with gaming deserves recognition. If you haven't experienced it yet, it's definitely worth checking out.
He wanted to show me what he'd been working on. My brother Will was a scientist.
The Order 1886, released in 2015 on the PS4, remains visually stunning even a decade later. Ready at Dawn deserves commendation for achieving a level of graphical fidelity that few games have matched since. With its cinematic, filmic look featuring film grain, depth of field, and soft focus, The Order boasts a unique aesthetic that stands out. Despite facing undue negative press before launch, largely due to misconceptions about its length, The Order 1886 is not a bad game. While it's true that its campaign length is shorter than some expected, it's a highly cinematic third-person adventure set in a unique alternative history blending Arthurian legend and steampunk elements. The gameplay is streamlined and the experience is quite linear, with no multiplayer mode. While this may deter some players seeking replay value, it's evident that the developers prioritized crafting a rich universe and achieving a high level of fidelity early in the PS4's lifecycle. The core gameplay loop involves third-person combat, light exploration, and quick time mechanics, along with minigames like lockpicking. If you're looking for deep gameplay mechanics or an expansive open world, The Order may leave you wanting more. However, for those seeking a cinematic action experience with top-notch graphics, compelling world building, and engaging characters and story, there's much to appreciate. It's unfortunate how much negative press the game received, as it likely impacted its sales and deprived players of a potential sequel. Despite this, I highly recommend giving The Order 1886 a fair chance to explore its captivating universe before it becomes a forgotten gem of gaming history. Rise Son of Rome remains visually stunning even for a game released in 2013. Despite being 11 years old, it retains its beauty, especially when played on a decent PC where it runs fairly smoothly. The gameplay, while somewhat old-fashioned compared to more recent titles, is still enjoyable, with its fair share of quick-time events, QTEs, that don't detract from the overall experience. Built on the CryEngine, Rise was destined to look impressive, and it certainly delivers on that front. The execution animations are varied and enjoyable, adding to the immersive experience. It's a rarity to find games set in ancient times, and as a history enthusiast, I appreciate the attention to detail in this regard. Regarding the story, while it may not be historically accurate, it still manages to create a compelling world with characters driven by their motivations and urgencies. Even if you're not well versed in the historical context, the world building and character development are still engaging. As someone with limited time to spare, I value shorter games that offer a rich experience, and Rise fits the bill with its under 10-hour gameplay, solid world building, and visually captivating scenes. Overall, it's a game worth recommending for those looking for an immersive experience with a historical backdrop.
We need to push forward!
It's impressive how Crysis, released almost 12 years ago in early 2013 for the PS3, still manages to captivate with its visuals. I admire the atmospheric quality of the game and the mechanics of the suit. Despite not playing any Crysis games until last year, I found myself engrossed in the series after picking up the Xbox version. Crysis 3, in particular, stood out to me. While it may be a tad linear with levels that aren't particularly standout in terms of enemies, it remains an enjoyable shooter that encourages players to leverage the suit and its mechanics. The ability to choose which weapon to use and the addition of the bow were particularly enjoyable for me. Additionally, I found the stats mechanic in this game to be an improvement over its predecessors. Though the campaign may only last around 6 hours, I personally clocked in at about 9.4 hours, finding it to be a reasonable length similar to the first 2 games in the series. While the last boss took me a few tries, and I opted to sneak through some levels instead of engaging every enemy. Overall, I felt satisfied with the experience. It's just a shame that more effort wasn't put into expanding the adventure, given the fantastic foundation that was laid. Until Dawn, released in 2015, still stands as a masterpiece in storytelling even after 9 years. Not only is the narrative captivating, but the game is also visually stunning. Everything from the graphical models to textures, lighting, and camera angles demonstrates incredible production quality. The attention to detail is remarkable, with even small elements like the tag on a shirt or a loose thread adding to the immersive experience. Playing it on the PS4 truly felt like a next-gen experience. While the gameplay primarily involves walking around and making choices, it's the story that truly shines. Each character is well-developed, and I found myself genuinely caring for their well-being. The branching paths resulting from your choices provide a wealth of outcomes, leading to multiple playthroughs to explore all possibilities. The voice acting is top-notch, with the cast delivering phenomenal performances that make each character feel unique. Additionally, the sound design enhances the atmosphere, providing moments that are both tense and thrilling. Although Until Dawn isn't overwhelmingly terrifying, it does have its moments that will leave you on edge. The inclusion of collectibles adds depth to the experience, helping you understand and prepare for future events in the game. Overall, it's a must-play for horror fans or anyone looking to dive into the genre. Plus, for those interested in trophy hunting, it's an easy game to platinum, requiring only a couple of days to achieve completion. Metro Exodus, released in 2019, may not be the oldest game on this list, but its level of detail and photorealistic visuals are truly impressive. Honestly, I didn't initially take to Metro Exodus. It took me restarting the game multiple times before I finally stuck with it until the end. One reason for this might have been that I had just finished Metro Last Light. Transitioning from a more level-based shooter to a dense open world was quite jarring for me initially, so I set Metro Exodus aside for a few months. However, when I eventually finished the game, Metro Exodus emerged as my favorite of the trilogy. The developers did an outstanding job translating the weighty gunplay of the original titles into a more open-world framework. Despite the shift away from claustrophobic environments, the game still maintains maintains moments of intense combat and tension. Playing the latest upgraded edition on PC, with everything maxed out, is a visual treat. The game truly showcases the capabilities of modern gaming hardware. If I had one complaint, it would be that there isn't more exploration of the forest environment encountered in the second-to-last area. My favorite section of the game is actually the last metro section. There's a haunting quality to the old Russian apartment buildings covered in ice and snow, with the sense of mystery lingering behind those dark windows. Crawling through the subways and sewers in this final section felt like the perfect conclusion to this captivating journey. Overall, Metro Exodus is a masterpiece, deserving of a 10 out of 10 rating. Red Dead Redemption 2 is approaching its 7th year since release, and it's undoubtedly a standout title in gaming history. For many, including myself, it's not just the game of the year, but the game of the century. Despite its age, Red Dead Redemption 2 remains visually stunning. Even compared to newer games like Spider-Man 2 and Assassin's Creed Mirage, it holds up remarkably well. Playing it on PC reaffirms its status as a visual masterpiece, showcasing the incredible attention to detail that Rockstar is known for. While there's hope for a proper enhanced version for the PS5, similar to what Rockstar did with GTA 5, it seems they've shifted their focus away from Red Dead 2 for now. Nonetheless, the game's beauty lies not just in its grandeur, but in the meticulous attention to detail. From the leaves to the blades of grass, every element is meticulously crafted, creating an immersive experience unlike any other. Rockstar's commitment to quality is evident in every aspect of Red Dead 2. It feels like a game from a generation ahead of its time, setting the standard for what's possible in gaming. If Red Dead 2 is anything to go by, one can only imagine what the future holds, especially with the anticipation for GTA 6.